Hello, everyone. Welcome to the term. This is Christina, and I am going to do a quick little video to help you get oriented to our class. So this class is for summer term. It is BT 112 Leadership Essentials. And so what I'm going to do is just, like I said, walk you through the first couple of weeks so that you know where things are located. When you first log into Blackboard and go into our class, you'll see a Start Here module. I would encourage you just to click where it says Start Here, and then there are a few things for you to take a look at. Now, a lot of times students like to just skip this part. I encourage you to read it. It's going to give you some good information. During week one of the term, I have a few different office hour meetings. These will be on Zoom. You can jump in and meet me. You can ask questions. If you have concerns or need help with something in class, you are welcome to join me in those office hours. Again, that's on Zoom. And the link is right down here. During the other weeks of the term, so weeks 2 through week 8, I have office hours on Wednesdays. This should actually say from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock. And that will also be on Zoom. But what if you need another option? What if those office hours don't work for your work schedule or your family schedule? No problem. You can basically send me an email with your name, your student ID, what class you're in, the date and time that you can meet. Give me a couple of options, and then the reason you want to meet. Do you just want to have a chat? Do you have questions about an assignment? And then I'll email you back and we'll get the appointment set. Or if you don't want to send an email, you can check out this little video. I have an appointment setting link here. This will take you over to a platform called You Can Book Me. And you can just pick to have an appointment with me and pick the date and time, and you'll be good to go from there. All right, moving down, we have our schedule of assignments, and our class meets online, so there are no in-person meetings. Assignments are generally due on Mondays at 5 p.m. There are two exceptions. The first exception is it's called an attendance verification. That's our orientation assignment. That is only available until Wednesday of week one. If you don't complete that assignment, you're going to be administratively dropped from the class. That's just a way that the school verifies that you're actually here and you do want to attend the class. The second exception is that the final week assignments are due on Wednesday of finals week. And that is because the college is closed on Friday, and I need to have time to grade your assignments and then give you some feedback and post those final grades. So you definitely will want to make some plan some time for that. This next attachment here, let me just get this opened up so I can show you. This is our assignment schedule. And for my classes, oh, it's going to go on screen. Perfect. You can download this or you can look at it on the screen. I recommend generally to my students that you print a copy of this because this is going to show you what you need to do and when it is due by for this class. Like I said earlier, we meet for 8 weeks and we cover 11 weeks worth of material. So a regular term, fall, winter, and spring, those terms are 11 weeks. Summer is what we call an accelerated term. That means it goes faster. And so you definitely want to make sure you get yourself set up well during week one. So in our first week, we're talking about leadership introduction. And then you have your attendance verification, which is due by Wednesday. You also have a leadership self-assessment and reflection that's worth 50 points. Then you have a first discussion that is worth 30 points. And you can see each week of the term what you'll have due so that you can plan it out. On the second page of this document, I have my contact information, my appointment link again, just a little note for when the term, what the dates are for the term. There are some notes about materials. You don't need to purchase a book for this class. There's some information about late work. I don't accept late work in the summer term, so you definitely want to make a plan to ensure that you can finish your work before the due date and make that submission. And down at the bottom, I have some information about the assignments and the points in this class. So here is a short list at the bottom of all the assignments in class. And there are 530 points available in class, but the class is based, or the grade is based on 500 points. This means you have 30 points of kind of wiggle room. So you could really did not do well on assignment. You could miss an assignment. You have those 30 points of wiggle room. I find that that really helps students just to give you a little bit of breathing room, especially in an accelerated term like summer. All right, so I'm going to close that out. And then you have another link for the course assignment schedule here in case you want to have a shortcut. The attendance verification assignment is here. Once you open that up, it's going to ask you, did you read the syllabus? Did you read the assignment schedule, etc. When you're watching this video, you will see an additional thing between the course assignment schedule and the verification assignment, and that is the course syllabus. Go ahead and either print or read through that syllabus. That is all of the information you need to know about the class. It's just not showing up in this screen version that I have right now. And then I have another section that just shows a repeat of that information for the Zoom office hours. So if you forget and you need to make an appointment, that information is all listed here for you. So that is just an overview of our Start Here module. And then after you've looked at all of that information, I would encourage you to go ahead and jump down to the week 1 module. And when you click that, you can see, ooh, there's a lot of information here. That's because, again, we're covering 11 weeks worth of work in 8 weeks. So you'll have for each week in this class, we'll have a little this week in leadership. And what this does is it basically tells you what's our topic, what do you need to do, and what is due by the next due date. Like I said earlier, our due dates in this class are Mondays. So you want to just make sure you're planning your time so that you can meet those deadlines. And then each section, you'll have some lecture notes to read. Since we're an online class, the lectures will generally be some written notes and also some videos of slides. So take your, excuse me, take some time to read through those. Because we're talking about leadership in this class, I've got a recap of a book called The 21 Laws of Leadership. I am a certified John Maxwell leadership speaker, coach, and trainer, and I use a lot of John Maxwell's leadership material in this class. Because we didn't require you to purchase a book, I'm able to share this recap PDF with you, and it just goes through each of those 21 laws. So you'll want to read that. Then after you've read that, there's a Laws of Leadership evaluation. It's a PDF. So when you click that, it's going to open up. And you can either download it or you can print it to fill it out because this is one of your assignments for the week. And there's not your score on this leadership evaluation does not equate to your score on the assignment. If you complete this assignment, you get full credit. So it doesn't matter if you have a high score or a low score when you do your evaluation. It is whether you did it or whether you didn't do it. And so you'll read the instructions, go through, fill that out, and then you can see that we have your leadership self-assessment and reflection submission area. So after I filled out that PDF, you can click on the assessment submission area, and then you're going to click view instructions. This one is worth 50 points. So if you do the assignment, you get 50 points. It's pretty easy. And in all of our assignments for this class, you'll see this little notification. And it basically says do a .doc or a .docx format. In this assignment, it's impossible to do that because it's a PDF. So before I launch this to the class, I will fix this part. In general, though, if you're writing a paper, you want to make sure that you have a Word document as your file. Again, in this one, it's probably going to have to be either an image or a PDF because you're working from a PDF. And if you have any questions, just send me a message. I'm happy to help you with that. Okay, then we have a neat activity for you, and you'll see this in the video lecture, which will be the other video that you have. We have a list of values. One of the important things for a leader is to know what your values are. And so there's a worksheet there for you. By the way, you can have free printing at any of the computer labs on our college campuses. So if you see these documents and you're like, man, I really like that, I want to keep a copy of that. You can either, of course, save it to your cloud, or you can go to the computer lab and print a copy. Another thing that will be in one of our lectures is our 5 levels of leadership. And this is just a document that covers those 5 levels of leadership by John Maxwell. And then we have, if you wanted to read that 5 levels of leadership just on a web page, it's there. So you have two options for how to get that. All right. And then we have your leadership self-reflection assignment instructions. So remember, for this first week, you have a few assignments to do. And so I would just encourage you, after you have read through all the material, after you've watched the video lectures, after you've read the written lectures, then you can respond to this paper. And what I would encourage you is always look at the grading criteria. This basically is what I'm going to use to grade your papers. I expect you all to write at a college level. If you have questions about that, you are more than welcome to reach out to me. We have an amazing tutoring center on our campuses or available online or over Zoom, and I can help connect you with that if you want. All right. And then we have our first discussion, which is all about values and influence. Again, after you've watched the lecture video, after you've done all of the review for the week, then you can do the discussion. Don't try to do the discussion without reviewing the material because you won't be able to. All right. That's a quick overview of week 1. I know it's a lot of information in this first week. So just make sure if you have questions, you're more than welcome to join me in the office hours. I look forward to working with you all in class, and I hope you have an amazing term. All right, folks, have a great day and let me know how I can support you.